开声音。
每天都
嗨，大家好。
嗨，
大家好。哇，
你们怀念的阿修回来了。
I'm back。我被香港绑架了7天，好恐怖哦，好恐怖哦。
去太久了吧？
好恐怖哦！香港到底怎么会这样子？不可以去那么多天？
终于你的亢奋揪回来了。
到底为什么可以去那么多？OK， 而且我跟你讲，就是我昨天就相簿突然跳出，就是我7年前去香港的照片。我真的是投胎转世过哎！我真的以前完全长得不一样哎，
真的
好恐怖！真的，我可以给大家看一下我昨天跟上一次，这一次去香港拍的照片，完全就是不同人。就是我上次去香港感觉是刚出狱。
哦不，你那时候刚退伍吧？
对，那时候刚退伍，然后就是头发是超平的，然后那时候开始学画眉毛，那眉毛还画超歪。刚开始学画眉毛，所以那眉毛超浓，然后又超歪，超好笑。刚出狱，对，而且我这次去香港的期间就只有就是真的超热，千万不要在这个夏天的时候去香港或者去任何国家玩，太热了，很恐怖。
现在台湾都快热爆了。
我现在就是那个我现在就是南投陈建州超黑的，现在又红又黑。默默把声音调低30，谢谢哦，你们忍了1个礼拜，终于可以把它调低了。我没得到。夏天千万不要出门，真的，那出门都一定要喷那个。我要谢谢那个香港的粉丝有送我一个那个 Gatsby 有一个喷雾，那个机凉喷雾，那个真的很好用，大家可以去买。就是屈臣氏或是那个康士美之类都有卖，就是它一喷下去，直接像在冷冻库一样，超夸张。对，我后来就是有点感冒的感觉，因为它真的太冷太凉了，就是你一喷到你的衣服上面去，你瞬间身体就会凉起来，就像人家在冷冻库里面的感觉。
直接温差太大，
而且味道也很香哦，是草莓的味道哦。
天哪，那很想吃哎！
真的很凉，可以边对你饿的话，也可以拿来喝，当草莓果汁喝。也准备去香港，如果你们要香港玩的话，那个7月25号国泰航空要送出39060张香港的机票，就大家可以去抽一下。你只要办国泰的会员，就可以免费抽机票喽，大家。7月25号哦。恭喜你们可以香港像人真的超级多的，恭喜你们去受苦，希望你们可以去受苦，太恐怖了，都是人，尤其是迪士尼。我原本以为那个香港迪士尼，因为上海迪士尼不是开了吗？然后可能香港迪士尼就不太会有就是人这样子，但是还是一样超级多的，要许我亚西郎那个迪士尼在散场的时候根本挤不出去，好恐怖！我都买了机票了 ，Oh my god！ 没关系，如果你抽到的话，说不定可以退掉啊，妈。
对啊，退掉2000块而已啊，手续费付一付。真
的吗？2000块而已吗？
差不多啦，2000块1500差不多。
真的，而且香港迪士尼是我公认，就是我有去过东京迪士尼跟香港迪士尼，香港迪士尼东西真的超级盘，很恐怖，超级贵。它里面一杯水是30港币，100都快200块台币一杯水
，160，
对，160左右。然后里面随便一个餐点最便宜就是170到180港币，就500-600块。我想说 ，Oh my god！ 而且这样也跟我说，就是游乐园不是都这样子吗？像九族也是这样子。我看九族屁啊，九族最贵的餐点也不过200多块钱的，好不好
？300多块也最多了。
对，顶多300多块钱。我在里面随便吃一餐都直接破千呢，破1-2千呢，给他吸了。而想说，而且每一个人都还是在里面吃，因为它附近没有任何便利商店，也没有任何杂货店，也没有任何的自动贩卖机，你就只能强制在里面吃饭。
就把它当英国就好了，英国你不是也这样子吗？
对，就很贵。
你等于是到英国了。
很贵啊，很可怕。
可是英国没那么多大陆人啊。
哦，真的对。
抱歉。
怎么会唐人街啊？唐人街。
但是香港到处都有。好，我们要玩一个游戏，叫做等一下，我先跳一下画面，叫做《史丹利的寓言》，它是2013年出的游戏，已经很久了。但是它2年前就是出了那个 Steam 上面出了一个那个高清版。对，高清版。等一下，我先截一下画面。听说这个游戏很厉害，听说阿全您看过这游戏的那个的解说了，
游戏不只有已经讲过了，所以我等一下就不爆雷喽。
Oh my god， 很精彩哦！没看过的看过的也不要爆雷，没看过的话就是 enjoy it，OK。
就可以感觉它到底有多神。
我要怎么挑成视窗化？你以前玩过史丹利的寓言吗？没有玩过。
没有。
他如果玩过会怎样啊？
可能会给你一点不同的东西吧。
请调整滑块，直到电脑几乎不可见。等一下，我先调成1960×1080。请输入当前时间。为什么要输入当前时间啊？现在几点
？10点17分。
10点17分。
Oh no！ 等一下一定会出现恐怖跟游戏有关的东西。
他一定会有可能会去扫我的那个词典里面有什么档案。
Oh no！
大家会侦测你的信用卡密码。
对。
那我也要。
哎，你们会不会一直收到那个 Microsoft 说什么一次性验证码的信件啊？
没有哎，
我真的疯狂收到哎，而且我已经改了4次密码了，但是还是一直收到。
你说一直被盗吗？
就是感觉有人在登录我的那个 Microsoft 账号。
江啊！日防夜防，家贼难防。
哎，真的也有可能真的是他哎 ！My God， 没画面，等一下哦。
只能是他了吧，不然还有谁？
对啊，
那么近。默默在取代你这个角色。
Pony 死掉了。
什么 Pony 死掉了？哈？哈？
他翻肚了。
吓死！什么意思？
不要吓死人了！
我真的吓到哎！
那又不是鱼。什
么了？翻肚死了是不是？
吓死人了！
我真的吓到，讲的一副很平常。哦，Pony 死掉了。
妈啦，Pony 又死了。
哦，Pony 死掉了。
要死了。
吓到！
换真理。
刚刚才讲，我跟你讲 ，Pony 他那个身形竟然才4.5公斤哎，你们信吗？
对啊，
你们信吗？
他那是毛而已。
哎，99.5.6公斤哎。
谁可以教我怎么把猫咪养胖胖？
就吃餐包啊，一直给它吃餐包。
哎，他就每天给猫吃餐包哎，
这很正常吧？
哪有餐包不是奖励的吗？
没有，餐包有分主食包跟副食包，那主食包就是拿来天天吃的啊。
猫咪不都吃？
干嘛吃肉啊？吃巧克力啊？他们最爱吃巧克力了。
哎，
冰块交了30块，说我今天生日可以祝我生日快乐吗？祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，生日快乐。
誕生日おめでとう。
誕生日おめでとうございます。可是没有吧？我觉得应该不是只有我，就是把主食包当成就是每天晚餐喂吧。
没有，只
因为
有你。
没有新卡也是啊。
没有，我不信，新卡有7只猫哎。
新卡家里这么多猫，他要是这样养着就破产。
他就跟我一样，就是用那个餐包加水这样子，
一直稀释。
我就稀释，因为真的太贵了。那个一个月的那个饲料费、那个餐包费都破4000、5000，要求真的会破产。
没有人天天喂吧？
拉拉说，我小孩吃饲料加水9公斤，9公斤可以上桌子了耶。
你小孩是真的小孩哦？
你说人类小孩哦？9公斤是不是要先投那个公告一下那个社福单位？
真的？
看几岁啊？
有些猫吃不胖。
9公斤，他可能小孩刚出生啊。
刚出生只有2-3公斤而已。
巨婴。
9公斤太可怕了。
对，
双胞胎。
啊，那给他天天吃哦，好吧？那
我是天天吃啦。
那你干嘛把它养胖？养胖又不健康
啊？
我说啾啾妹，你干嘛把它养胖？养胖又不健康。
可是，
其实我觉得 Pony 算神猫，因为它看起来很胖，但是它其实没有很胖，那就很厉害了。
而且 Pony 它就是它如果饱的话，你就算开罐给它吃，它也不一定会吃啊。
它就是看心情嘛，饿了才。
它就是看心情，跟9一样，
很不重吃。
9就是有时候喂它，就旁边就不甩你，然后它想吃的时候再过去吃，那其实它想吃的时候就已经被其他猫咪吃完了。
然后它也就算了，
它就稍微跑回去睡觉，也不会生气，就是算了，我不吃也没关系。
你们有发现有些猫很奇怪，就是如果你一直看着它，它就会假装不吃，然后你不看它，它才会过去吃。
啊，对。
为什么会有这种心情？
你有跟 Pony 玩过游戏吗？就是一直看 Pony， 然后 Pony 还会害羞。
会啊，可是它不是害羞，它是害怕吧？
你说一直看它吗？
对，因为动物一直盯着看，不是挑衅的意思吗？
哦，是哦。
对啊。
我超爱看我们家的猫咪，然后每次都感觉就是要瞥过眼，然后不理我的感觉。
每天都
超卡哇伊的。
难怪他们都讨厌你。
超级卡哇伊，一直看它瞪它。
手机要录它很可爱的东西，他就故意不做，他就觉得。
可是等下，可是我看到网络上有人说，就是如果你对一只猫咪眨眼的话，表示跟他说我爱你的意思，哎。
对，要眨很慢，慢慢闭起来。
对，要慢慢眨。对，这样其实蛮恐怖的耶。
眼睛是不是有问题？这个主人。
眼睛是不是有问题？Lexi Z 30块说被啾啾妹吓死，抖给那压惊。为什么？哦，因为刚刚说 Pony 死掉。刚刚说 Pony 死掉。
刚刚说 Pony 死掉。对。
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
讲了。
开始了。
Pony 去吃罐头。
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
我已经想好的部
Employee
分。
number 427's
抱
job
歉哦。
was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day,
这个员工也太无聊了吧
every month of every year.
这样很厉害了。
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the
所以你可以接受就是领一般的薪水，然后
though
就一
he
直做
had
重
been
复的
made
工作。
exactly for
我
this
可以，我
job.
可以做一样
你可。以接受
Stanley
every day 吗？
was happy.
只要钱多事少，零加金我都可以，
没有钱多就是一般的薪资，然后一直做重复的工作。
能活就好了，没问题，
你要确定哦。
没什么误。
哎，没有聊天室，等一下。哎，聊天室呢？
你们未来就是这样子啊。
对啊，大家都是这样子啊，因为未来的那个工作都被那个机器人取代啊，全部都会被 AI 取代哦。
对，
很恐怖哦。
那是不是以后就不用工作？
还是要工作啊，不然没有钱啊。哎，没有，以后我们就是在 AI 世界里面生活了，也就人就只是一个肉体而已，只是个躯壳而已。
反正
但是我们
AI
的意识是在 AI 里面，所以我们想干嘛就干嘛。
我就叫 AI 去面试，然后叫 AI 去做啊，然后我就在家等他赚钱回来给我。
对
And
啊，
then one day, something
他没
very
有去赚钱，我哪有
peculiar,
钱养他？
something that would forever change
你
Stanley.
这种什么好像逼女人去下海的想法？
你说周星驰那部？
对啊，喜剧这种。
你不卖我都没有钱养你啊！
调整一下小人。
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour
妮妮说，
when
可
he
是图文作
realized
家
that
会被
not
取代
one,
吗？
会啊，现在有绘图 AI 哎，妮妮，那只有厉害一点，连剧本都会写，然后连图都帮你画好了，还可以模仿你的那个画风
有灵魂啊！
啊。
他们的剧本没有像你们的有灵魂啊！
你要不一定，说明之后他们可以就是就是可以读取我的想法，或是抄袭我的风格，然后再画出一样的东西，那就可怕了。
single
你就把一
order
些关
had
键字
arrived
告
on the
诉他
monitor
嘛
for
那
her
变成
to
你要会利
follow.
用这个 AI 啊
No one had showed up to
你
give
用
him
AI 来做一步，
instructions, call a meeting.
就变成这样，就变成说我在养这个 AI，你知道吗？然后反而就是让他来替代我，我觉得很可怕哎。
那你就靠他赚钱啊！啊，他不赚钱，你怎么养他？
我们又谁去了？
Oh my god！ 我不想讲了。
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable
很
to
像听
move
故
for
事的
the
感觉，这个游
longest
戏。
time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
他在叫我走出办公室吗？
对，赶快去吧
这。是旁白，也太快了吧！这走太快了吧！呜，走太快了吧！什么意思啊？超晕！等一下，走超快的。
这是恐怖游戏吗
它不是恐怖游戏，但是你要说另外一种意义上恐怖，应该也算
细思
？OK，
极恐。
细思极恐的游戏吗？应该是。
是的。
镜头灵敏度稍微慢一点。好。他说我现在就是虽然我天天一直做一样工作，但是从今天突然就是员工都不见了，只剩我一个人。我进去了，然后嘞。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
什么意思啊
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
这旁白怎么
Perhaps
没
he
有
had
像那
simply
个啊？
missed a memo.
什么？
No matter how hard
这个旁
Stanley
白像
looked,
那部电
he
影里面什
couldn't
么什
find
么
a
玩家
trace of
的
his
旁白。
co-workers.
玩家，一级玩家。
对啊，
不是他为什么叫我去干嘛？我要叫他只是去会议室，是不是？会议室在哪里啊？这公司也太大了吧！
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
为什
left.
么我要去左边的门啊？我不能去右边的门吗？
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
哦，
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just
他
to
是会
admire it.
依照我选的动作，然后来更改他那个更改他那个台词
好酷哦！
不是你有听到一个声音吗？我点左键的时候，它会一直有一个按键盘的声音。
好像在打字的声音。
不知道为什么我是拿键盘来走，是不是啊？
你可能跟那个 Google 里面的人一样吧
Yes,，truly a room worth
边走
admiring.
边拿 Make
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
OK，Thank you， 谢谢阿元送出一个玩什么会籍。
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
哎，
his
信卡
left.
来了，可以问他了，
问他什么？
我直接跟你们讲啊，那个我每天都有喂他们餐包，然后琪琪看起来很胖，可是他4.5公斤。
你有知道我问什么？
那七七跟 Pony 一样瘦哎。
对啊，他们是毛蓬而已啊，可是他起来4点多而已。
可是你是
最胖，
And so he
你是7只
detoured
猫
through the
7包
main
餐包
section walked straight ahead to the
没有
opposite door，
因为他一
and
个
got
餐
back
包
on track.
下，我没有7只猫，像5只猫，可是因为一个餐包下去，我是分成2碗，所以我是用2个餐包而已
所。以新凯也套超多水，他是
哎，你是2个餐包，然后5只猫，我是2个餐包3只猫，那我算有良心，
对，你比较良心，你是好
我算有
老板。
良心。
没有，那就是你喂太多，那你可以一个餐包喂3只猫啊。
可是这样就很少，你知道吗？我怕他们饿。
哎，可是你两个餐包喂3只猫，他们吃得完吗？
他们吃得完，全部都吃完。
哦，是哦，因为我就算是2包，都还是会剩一点点，
哦
因为有几只猫可能不太爱吃。
然后还有人会吐，然后有人会去吃这样子。
对，
哎他
所以阿
们真的会吃
尼一定要来
吐的东西，
我房间吃
超。好笑。
那最胖的是糖糖吗？
最胖糖糖它6公斤，
嗯，
靠，怎么养的？
糖糖超肥，我不知道为什么。
Yet there was not a
是圆
single
圆的
person
猫
here
都
either.
养胖啊。
Feeling a wave
糖
of
糖
disbelief,
糖糖是不是跟那个银
Stanley
龙是一样
decided to go
品种的
up to
猫
his
啊？
boss's office,
银
hoping
色
he might find an answer
对，
there.
就是灰色这样子。
银董像也超
它也是米克斯啊
肥的耶。How to solve a dispute with a coworker？我来到
乌
会议室了
星宅德斯图。学儿，
哎，这个门可以开哎，这是什么地方？
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here. So
这
he
算恐
turned
怖游戏还是
around
解谜游
and
戏？
got back
不
on
算解
track.
谜游戏，我不知道。他这样应该算悬疑游戏吧？他就是一个那个台词，那个旁白会一直因为我做的事情，然后一直跟我讲我现在在干嘛。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs.
我才不
to
要
the
去楼上，我要去楼下
boss's，
不要再指
你是
示我
楚门世
了，
界啊？
我要去楼下。有点恐怖的感觉。等一下，
我最近一直在看《楚门的
But
世界》那
Stanley
个
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of
介
facing
绍
his
是不是？
boss,
对啊，我觉得
admitting he had left
天
his
哪，
post
你
during
30几
work.
年来
我当初没有看完这一部片诶，可是看他介绍，我这样好想
And
去
in
看。
such a competitive
可以看《
对
楚门世界》，
industry,
一定要
why
看，
had
很
he
精彩。
taken that risk?
可恶，不
All
好。
because he believed everyone.
因为以前大学的时候，我就听说这部片很红，我就有去租片来看。可是看前10分钟我就没看下去。
Maybe he thought to himself, maybe I am
我蛮希
crazy.
望《楚门世界》
All
重
of
置
my
耶，因为真的很
coworkers
好看。
blinking mysteriously out of existence.
那谁演？一样金凯瑞
in a
吗？
moment for no
可以啊，反正
reason
金凯
at
瑞不是没
all.
变吗？
None of it made any logical
对。
sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other
他们
strange
找那个
observations.
黑人
For
来，
example, why couldn't he see his
我真的往下看，贱
Why
人，
did
死
doors
旁白
close。automatically behind
Hey!
him wherever he went? And for that matter,
什么意
these
思？
rooms were
完
starting to
了
look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This
这
can't be
太奇
real.
怪了，这不可能是
And at
真
last,
的
he。came to the conclusion
这一切都太
that it
奇
had been
怪
on
了
the tip
啦
of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
这一切都太奇怪，不可能会这样子。
dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
我在做梦，
What a relief Stanley felt.
我一定是在
to
做
have
梦。
finally
Oh my
found
god！
an
哎
answer, an
而且回到同一个
explanation.
房间，我一直在
His
疯狂的鬼打
coworkers
墙
weren't
哎。
actually gone.
真
He
的
wasn't
耶
going to lose his
你
job.
看
He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to
而
himself,
且为什么一直有键
"I
盘的
suppose
声音
I'll
跟我
wake up
讲？
soon.
为什么我一直拿键盘
I'll
走路
go
啊？
back to my
那个
boring
谁在
real-life
打
job
字啊？
pushing buttons. I may
不是，
as
是我
well
按
enjoy
左键
this while I'm
我按
他们在打
so
字啊。
没有，是玩左键才会有这个声
He
音。
imagined
那你不要按
himself
左键。
flying and began
这
to
蛮舒服
gently
的这个声
float
音
above
，ASMR
the
的感
ground.
觉。
哎，你要飞起来了。
Then he
我飞起来了
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star
我怎么
field,
我怎么
and
飞到
it too
外太空啊？
appeared. It was so much fun.
你不要再
And
指引我
Stanley
做事情了，很
marveled
可
that he had
怕
still。not woken up.
那你要是什么都
How
不做
was
嘞
he？remaining so lucid? And then perhaps
让你
the
挂网啊。
strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my
我才刚
head
我才刚讲这句
dictating
话而已。
everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Really？
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was
Oh my
Stanley
God.
simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in
讲
fact
完
a
了没啊？
dream.
我就问
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself
跟我讲我要去
too.
哪里？
Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
而且
that this was a
他刚刚
dream.
感觉就是要你走
So he
下
closed
去，
his eyes gently,
我继续走
and
没
he
错啊。
invited himself to
你有
wake
发
up.
哦，
现吗
闭？上眼睛了。
He
Oh my
felt
god！
the cool weight of the
因为
blanket on his skin.
一般人都不 会想往上
The
投。
mattress on his back. The fresh air of a world outside this one.
我被强制闭眼睛了。
He thought to himself.
还是我就是这个旁白本人啊，我就
I
不是
wish
史
it
丹
to
利。
be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
这个游戏这个旁白的文本应该有10
It's
本
all I
吧？
want. I want my
应该有上万
apartment
页吧？
and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
normal.
Everything will be
Everything
fine.
Yeah, everything is normal. Okay, thank you.
I am
Fine.
okay.
我可以张开眼睛了吗？
Fine, thank you。
我在一样地方啊！写的考哦。
Stanley began screaming. Please,
someone wake me up. My name
is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must
谁
be
能告诉我我是真实的 real？
Hear my voice. Who am I?
这是你在动还是他在动？
哦，是我在动，不好意思，
靠腰哦！
吓到了吧？是不是很有临场感？哎，然后嘞？
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
换了一个人是不是？
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the
史丹利
body of
吗
a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy.
好
This
了
much she，knew.
请问可以帮我送去医院
Everyone knows
吗
what？crazy
可以不要想那么
people
多字吗
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she
？Please send me
was
to the
be
hospital,
normal.
thank you.
I am safe.
Over my day
I am
body.
in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her
你
feel
不要再
better.
想了，快点报警！
Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important
这是结局了。
people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no
太
time
多了，
for
太
this,
多了
so it was
玛利亚
only
那
a
个 OS 也
moment
太多了
that
吧
she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and
哦，他
ran.
离开了。啊，请问要帮我叫救护车吗？所以我死掉了吗 ？What？
你屁呆，
Bad ending。
没有回到一开始的地方了，这是最一开始的地方，
所以你要从头玩。
不是应该不一样吧？
你要 round two 了。
没有旁
All
白
of his
说话啦。
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
他
simply
要叫我
missed
去
a
一次
memo.
会议室，
No matter how
他去
hard
叫你去老板
Stanley
办公
looked,
室。
he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
那我这次跟他，我跟他那个指示走好了，因为我刚刚是完全叛逆，所以我就死掉了，我猜。
你干嘛突然叛逆？
想说我就不想要被人家指使啊。
那你很不适合在这里工作、哦。
Await input，这什么？这什么东西？
就按左键啊，按左键不是可以输入吗？
没有啊，不能。可是刚突然按了一下，input received，
按住了。
没都不行，都不行，都不行，不知道干嘛，
可能你现在拿不到密码。
应该是吧？但是门都不能开，我们现在只能
When
去。
Stanley came to a set of two
OK，
open
我去左边
doors,
的门。
he entered the door on his left.
Thank you。
他说哪里就去哪里是吗？
对，因为我刚刚是直接相反。
哎，你怎么敢？
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
狮子座不让别
disbelief,
人指使他
Stanley
真的我
decided
受
to
不
go
了。
up to his boss's
那有人
office,
叫你
hoping
跪下
he
去。
might find an answer
什么？
there.
他会站起来。
那我就站起来，我会跳起来。
他叫你转过去。
Coming to a staircase,
Wait,
Stanley
pardon.
walked upstairs to his boss's
Wait.
office.
哎，那还是转过去啊。
但这就不是转过去3个字，是趴着，
妈的，
字不一样。
是啊。
什么地方啊？太大了吧？
Stepping into his manager's
超级大
office,
挑高
Stanley was once again stunned to
你来找
discover
经理了，
not an
终于。
indication of any
这个
human
密码
life. Shocked,
你知道多少吗？
unraveled, Stanley wondered in
169吧。
disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that
应
his
该有
boss
旁边
had
有
been
那些
keeping
线索
from
之类
him.
的吧，可以看
And
密
so
码
the
之类
boss
的。
had assigned it an extra secret
有可能
pin
哦。
number.
Oh!
2845.
Oh, thank you,
But of
2845.
course,
那怎么
Stanley
跟你
couldn't
讲？
possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing
因为
random
旁白跟我
buttons
讲了，谢谢你哦。
Stanley happened to input the correct
我不是
code.
碰
By
巧的。
sheer luck, amazing, he stepped into the newly
笑
opened
死。
passageway.
哎呀，这真的是那个耶，
直接告诉我们，这手哎，这是那个啊，《楚门的世界》。
那是楚门世界。
这完全是架好的
所以这不是公司，原来我在一个那个人家设定好的公司上班，
人家
我不是我
只想看你
自己。对，现在这是一场万人应该看的直播，然后会有一些人突然出来，然后用那个很业配语气，然后业配一个东西这样子。
抱歉，没有万人哦，只有1300。
Oh my god！
哦
阿卷75开始说安赶上直播了，
安
这是片场哎，下去吧。
他要带你去哪里？好可怕！
不知道，我想要知道为什么都没有人了，因为前面应该是有人的吧。
前面你有同事的说，
Descending deeper into the building,
现在什么鸟都没
Stanley
有
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
欢迎莹莹没带纸加入个宝宝，莹莹没带纸。
莹莹没带纸。
我代机。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
上面有人，上面有人。
不是那个
我的电风扇靠腰
可是有一个 escape 哎，这是出口哎，啊，怎么办？我想要逃脱这里，
再
可是这样我
试一次而已。
会死掉吧？我去看看
哎，。他刚刚没有说你要走哪里啊？
他叫我往这边走，他叫我去 Mind Control Facility，那精神控制的地方。
你就再试一次而已啊。
这样子嘞。哎呦哎呦哎呦哎呦！
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his
我
violent
不
death.
信，真的假的？我会死
第二
掉？
叛逆，
我会死掉吗？
You will be dead。
我不信哦。
好可怕哦！
哦，来啊！我看我会死2个月了。阿陈嗨，逍遥说的。
怎么
The
2个
door
月？
behind him was not
逍遥加入
shut.
会员2个月了。
Stanley still had
恭喜
every
逍遥。
opportunity to
都是
turn
抽到
around
哦
and get back on
他
track.
要你回去哎，他要你回去
阿成的。孩子2个月了。
还没啦。
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted
不知道有
effort
没
to
有中
walk
这个月。
forward and willingly confront his death.
超靠腰，超死掉。汤寿加入鬼王。哎、
哎呀，
这真的会死掉是不是啊？啊？
会哦。拜拜。
一名
现在把
女子怎样？
我没死啊，我没死哎、这什么地方啊？
好可怕哦！
什么啦？
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
那
closer
个
to
压
his
缩机，那个
demise,
某一个
那
游戏的
个垃圾处理器
it
啦
had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know
但
the
是你格
real
局不
story.
大。
超
Bound
靠
to
北
gather in his narrow vision
你格局要
of
大
what
一点。
this world is.
叛逆然后被
Perhaps his
抢。
death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end
应该
to
算
his
恐怖游戏
brief and
吧？
shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
你不能跳吗？
动不了啊，我只能死了。啊啊！
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
你该不会选对了吧？
啊！卷送出一个玩什么鬼的位置？啊？什么？
谢谢阿全。
The Stanley Parable， 史丹利的寓
And
言。
yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he
这
was
里
going
是
to
开头
accomplish?
画面，标题画面吗？
什么意
When
思？你要
every
重来一次
path you
啊？
can walk has been created for you long in
知道啊。
advance, death
你再回
becomes
卷走吗？
meaningless,
我变成，你看
making
这个
life
是我那
the
个工作
same.
室的那个哎，
Do you see
那
now?
个视角图
Do you
哎。
see that
模型。
Stanley was
对。
already dead from the moment he hit start?
旁白的旁白的旁白。
什么意思？
他说我按开始游戏这个键的时候，史丹利就已经死了。
为什么？
对啊，你看，这只是设计好的一个那个游戏办公室的布局，然后这里是史丹利的电脑，然后这个是风景画，就是办公室里面那些风景画，这些都是游戏里面的物件。
Oh my god！
2扇门，
对嘞，
不知道。文件柜，办公室的电脑，哎，可以玩这个哎，天哪，
还7哦。
对，哎呦，
怎么都坏掉了？
三手。按钮生效，在整个游戏中，当按钮被按下时，会发出一些精选的声音。哦，哇哦，哎呦，然后呢，原创音乐啊，这里直接那个了，
开发
直接变成那个
团队
工作团队，对，
要秀出来给你看。
这是博物馆这个游戏的博物馆。
这是史丹利博物馆
对，全部都是史丹利的东西。战区在开发的早期，我们设计了一个结局，史丹利最终会在战场上与外星人。我们是不是玩太快了？跳到一个那个类似彩蛋房间里面啊？超豪华版公告，
还是你就选对了？
我不知道我们现在玩的是超豪华版本，没错，超豪华版本。
这边应该就是彩蛋吧？这就是
我也觉得是彩蛋
为什么会直接跳到彩蛋？
Hey, are you gay？ 给旁白电子邮件，你是 gay 吗？
旁白可能真的是 gay 哦，
有可能哦。下雨香30块说，这个游戏比恐怖游戏还恐怖。
不是有个可以输入密码的东西吗？
对啊，还是这里看到密码，有没有可能？啊，这是怎样？维修室的布局。振宇30块说，拿拉卡已经加阿成好友喽。
谁？
振宇轩。
好的，宇轩。
郑宇轩哦，
恭喜你，恭喜你！
郑宇轩上次那个我们在玩那个唱歌的时候，他来进来唱歌，可是那时候阿成不在，
刚好下线了。
对，预告片。那我要怎么离开这里啊？我可以重来一次吗？我愿意听他那个指示做动作。
很好的，你这次没有啊？你上次没有？
没有啊，我刚直接离开。自由结局就是贝塔版中的自由结局。
你很坏你为什么都不照他说的做啊？
怎么办啊？不能这样叛逆大家啊！
你为什么一直想要跳脱框架呢？
就是玩游戏的时候，都是想要做一些就是他不想让你做的事情啊。
你在现实也是一样啊，就
怎么会这样？
这样才好啊，你这样才会创业啊。
这里
创造新的东
look at
西。
these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
这什么意思？关。
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
你到底是谁啊？我回来了。
But listen to me. You
Welcome
can
back,
still
welcome
save
back.
these two. You can stop the program before they both
什么意
fail.
思？突然
Push
跳太
escape
快了
and。press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move
他说我按 ESC 回到
forward, you'll be
离开菜
walking
单
someone。else's path. Stop now and make your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time
如
choose
果不按
for you.
ESC 呢？
Don't let time.
那你就没办法离
我死掉了，
开菜单。
谢谢。死了。I dead。然后呢？所以我他应该刚刚是叫我在那个被压死之前按 ESC 离开。我又回来了。I'm back again。
哇，那你到底要走哪一条？
我们先看时间好了，现在时间是10点57分，
快了一点点。
对，快了一点点，直接死掉了。
All of his co-workers were
我又回来了，又
What
重来一
could it
次。
mean?
Welcome
Stanley
back,
decided
welcome
to go
back.
to the meeting room.
好吧，我们这次
Perhaps
就是
he
乖乖的
had
照他
simply
走
missed
好
the
了
memo.，
照他说的做 ，Let's go。我们先去会议室，我们要探寻我们到底在什么世界。
When Stanley came to a set
Okay,
of two
okay,
open
我们去左边的
doors,
门。
he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
可是这样我们就已经知道这个地方不是真正的公
Stanley
司啦
decided to go up to his boss's
这个
office.
旁白
Coming to a
跟那个旁白有什
staircase,
么不一样？
Stanley walked upstairs to his
不知
boss's
道
office.
Executive bathroom，这个是浴室Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp,
Money Chris，
money crisp 嘛，钱币的碎片。 旁白的旁白说，史丹利旁白是互相需要彼此，所以我把那个旁白当做我的朋友是吗？
没错，
他是我的 soul mate 吗？
没错。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of anything. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Sorry,
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments
Okay, thank you.
with some calming new age music.
Wow. 谢谢你，我感到非常的那个平静了，谢谢旁白。那你要开门了吗？好了，开门了，不要再放音乐了。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
谁叫你不那个不等他讲完，
就知道密码了哈，还干嘛等他讲完？来往下，超靠腰，现在蛮可爱的那个旁白。真的耶，他发现我是焦虑症候群，躁郁症。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
好，再进去，洗脑设施。
我闻到暗域即将蔓延的味道，为什么？
怎么闻的？
什么意思？
怎么闻到的？
啊，没有，没有。
那这怎样干嘛？
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
X 战警那个
strength to find out.
这到底什么鬼地方啊
？X 教授的控制台吗
？X 教授控制台。
你是说 X 战警的
Now
X
the
教授
monsters jumped to life. Their
X
true
刚
nature
狼
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
每一
nothing.
个人都是那个耶，我是427吧，对不对？我在这里。
49527。
而且有一些人已经死掉了 ，fired， 被炒了。对啊，所有人都是楚门的世界哦。
我们也是吗？
This mind control facility, it was
每个人都被
too
监视啊。
horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
重点是他现在到底是在哪边跟我讲话？是在我心里面跟我讲话吗？
你根本没有脚啊，有差吗？
哦，真的耶。
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
这个5是什么？好想按哦，怎么办？
你就按啊。
那应该先按1吧。
叛逆叛逆。
按了不知道会怎样，先按1好了，先找1看看。1在这里，1、2，然后呢？3在哪里？3在这里吗？3，小友说按开就知道了。好的，谢谢。我按了吗？3，4在哪里啊？4在这里吗？是在另一边吗？这是可怕的吗？不可怕。
不可怕。
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 在上面。
不可怕。
不可怕。
book
一点的 book。
哎，我上不去这里啊，4在那边呢。刺30块说，刚刚第一次抖内没有被看到。哦不，刺你刚抖了什么？ 他现在再抖一次啊，是。
然后
喂，我开不了，
走到看见为止。
我去不了4那边呢。4上不去，你怎么按一下了？嗯，我不能去4，真的也不能过去。
欢迎培根加入鬼尾包。
培根，
培根，
那我直接按5呢？
最爱培根了。
哦不，啥意思？为什么不能去4？我真的去不了4，不去了。哎呦，小手 ，Mind controls idol， 哦 idol。Super
Idol 的笑容。
呀，
When
好
at
老
last he found
哦！
source
也还好吧。
谁
He
会
knew
唱
it
这么
was
老
his
的歌啊？
duty,
我
his
天啊！
obligation, to put an end to this
这首应该有
horrible
10年了吧？
place and to everything it
哦，一
stood
定
for.
有。
哼，屁了。
哎呦，怎样？我关掉了这程序了。
我一片黑啊。
我不知道啊。
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
欢迎李陈凯加贵宝宝，谢谢陈凯。
欢迎。
哎呦
He had won.
，Yes，
He had defeated the machine.
Yes!
Unshackled
Let's go!
himself from someone
Let's
else's
go to the
command.
freedom!
Freedom was mere
Oh.
moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles
Freedom,
still
freedom,
lay
freedom！ 哦
unsolved.
这一定是一幅画，我跟你讲，就跟楚门的世界一样，以为是那个
How had he
外面
been
的世界，结
freed
果是一
from
幅
the
画。
machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking,
真的画很多很厉害
but
哦，我觉得。
happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to
就
understand,
是开个门，然后可以讲了
but
800
to
句
let
话，
go.
这是
No
外面
longer
吗？
would anyone
一
tell
定是
him
假
where
的
to
吧？
go,
怎么可能是
what to
真的？
do.
一定是假的吧？那到底是真的还是假的？
就一定是假
Whatever
的。
life he lives, it will be his.
哎，
And
到
that
底
was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley
Wow.
stepped through the open
So
door.
beautiful，
You're beautiful.
快点让我进去。
Stanley
哦
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right
画
now,
面属于像上古卷
that
轴。
things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Thank you，自由了，谢谢大家。ありがとう。
You're beautiful.
那这样子旁边一直跟着我吗？我就问，我真的，哎，我获了一个词叫 Bid Again，哎，我破关了。
Again？
哎，我不是破关了吗？
啊？
我不是破关了吗？什么意思？我怎么又回来了？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Oh
missed a memo.
no！再次重
Tell
来。
me，我不是离开了吗
Why？
？What the hell？那怎么办？可是我刚照做了，然后也叛逆过了，那没事可以做啦。
那台
When
原本的
Stanley
电脑
came to a set of two open doors,
你刚刚那个门
he
走哪
entered
边？
the door on his
左
left.
边啊，我现在就照着他走啊。我走过右边啊，就会死掉啊，
哦，
就是会一开始的那个结局啊。这个门可以开吗？413的那个电脑开着耶，再叛逆一次吗？看哪个门可以开，是不是可以开？
有啊，你还有那个啊，不对，那个暂停你也按过了。
Yet there was not
哦，
a
死之
single
前退
person
出，
here
对吼，还
either.
有那个结局可以按
Feeling
哦。
a wave
那
of
个退出，
relief,
那个退出了
Stanley
吗？
decided to
说不
go
定有别的
up
事
to
可以
his...
做。
Oh no!
哎，干嘛干嘛干嘛？
No, 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 no,
干嘛干嘛干嘛？
Not again! I
怎
won't be
样？
part of this. I'm not going to
怎样？
encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm
他生
just
气了
going
啦
to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
OK，wait me 哦，
什么意思？
还是按设置有什么东西可以按吗？
哦，哎，
它可以自动行走。
蛮聪明的。
什么啦？要干嘛啦？这种是怎么一直有那个按键的声音，好舒服哦。 我不要理他好了，往下走，然后给他撞，
Stanley walked upstairs to
在
his
被压
boss's
之前，然后按
office.
离开。哎，这什么东西？
没地方了。
有一个小白纸。来
But
了，
Stanley just couldn't do it.
又轮回了
He。considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was
这车
crazy.
也不能开啊。
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he
重来了。
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
还是不能，哎，也
Were
不
they
能往后
simply
走，哎。
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
这个结局是
He
发
just
疯哎，
hadn't
所以这个
found the
应该
word
没有
for
吧？
it.
我可以直接重来吗？再次开始游戏。
你怎么知道你发疯了？
就是刚刚有做一样的那个结局了，就是我一直疯狂走，然后我扶起来，然后就发
Stanley
疯
knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they
他
were.
换台词了。
Just a matter of time.
你不要再按左键了。
好恐怖哦！
When Stanley came to a
他走右
set
边
of two
Let's
open
go.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room.
好了，
What
闭
a
嘴，闭嘴，
gorgeous
走了，
but
走了，走
eager
了，
to
走了
get。back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
他
his
走了
left.
左边第一扇打开的门，哎，这前面没有去过哎。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
啥鬼地方？
Look, Stanley, I think
This is
perhaps we've
IKEA 吗？
gotten off on the wrong foot
没
here.
错。
I'm not your enemy, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his
我以为
death.
应该会有个隐形
Good
墙
job,
之类的
Stanley.
吧
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
？Thank
人
you
人都会
哦，
认为你很有实力哦，
太棒了，结束一个新结局，走了。
你很棒哦。
哎，
哎，听我讲，
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
请问像听力测验吗？他说他要面包，然后什么 cereal，还要 pass spaghetti，
对，
然后嘞，就
然
这样，
后没听懂。
不知道。他怎么旁白不说话了？
哎，
旁白嘞？旁白，
呢？
旁白。
When Stanley came to a set
yola.
of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What? But eager to get back to
要买
business,
面包、
Stanley
意大
took
利
the
面跟咖
first
啡。
open door on his left.
原来我出现了啦！走这边，然后直接滑过去，看会怎样。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
啊，他这里有写 "Do not jump from the cargo, live while it is in motion"。好哦。
Look,
Hey,
Stanley, I
oh,
think
yeah.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
谁啦？
Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to
请
make
不要强制
every
自己做每
decision
个
by
决定。
yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
谁
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
不是老婆吧？感觉是刚刚那个
She's been
旁白
waiting.
哎。傻小，
什么？
这太黑了吧？ 傻小啊！哦，跟你错几丢。
That's her, Stanley.
对。
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
傻小，哎呦
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their
挂号
life to
终止。
you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
所以你就是我老婆吗，旁白先生？
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
早上好，员工427号，请在你的键盘上按 T。
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
请按 H， 一定要按吗？好，按 H。
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
请按 G， 好。
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
我的办公桌后面有东西。
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
请按 G 与儿子们共度时光。
So he went further.
这哪
He
里啊？
imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through
我现在是用
either.
想象的。
At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
OK， 请按 V 准备晚餐。
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many
好了，
possible
不要再呛我了，
paths and
让我出去。
Down one path lay an enormous round room with
我就是
monitors
个
and
loser， 好不好？
mind
不要再幻
controls.
想了。
And down another was a
该醒了
yellow
wake
line
up.
that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
哇哦，请按 K 给你的孩子讲故事。好的。
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
所以嘞，请按 P 告诉老婆你爱她。好的。
But there is
哎呦，
no
错几
answer.
靠
How
背。
could there possibly be? In
老婆
reality,
直接不见。
all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
这里是不是我一开始的工作室啊？
And
现在
I'm
睡
trying
觉
to tell him
该
this,
睡觉了，
that
该
in
睡
this
觉了。
world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
他叫我不要按呢。好，那不要按喽。哦，太棒了，不要上班了，各位，只要不要按钮就不会上班了。
我不想上班哦，想要天天在家里打游戏。
真的，可以吗？
那就不要
大家
上班啦。
不要画图，每天打电动。
可是我已经把复制单交出去了。
哎，
干嘛？
扣先提正职。
哎，要复
提离职啊，提离职啊。
还是离职好了。
嗯，
我被蚊子叮，抹一下药。
可是玩鬼可能到今年就没有了耶。
为什么？
没。
请问上班了没？
要了，要上班了，快告诉我
他叫我不要按
什么都不要按。
他叫我不要按啊，
什么都不要做。
可是我已经不动是1分钟了耶，还是要等5分钟？噔噔噔，嗨噔，
我干完了。
おめでとうございます。
要修改哦，
ございます。
要修改要大改哦。
哎，才刚改完就要改，
不能跳啊，不能跳，各位，哎，可以跳，可是不然我按空白键不能跳啊。
你可能要按 ESC。
不要再让我上班了，我想要睡在这个梦里面 ，please。要吃水果吗？好啊，怎么吃啊？哪里有水果？
嘴巴吃。
好，我等下吃香蕉。今天买了1串香蕉，好吃哦，在全联买的。
你怎么知道它好吃？
因为我吃啊。
因为我吃了。
但是香蕉就是香蕉，怎么会有好吃跟不好吃？
对啊，香蕉怎么有分好吃不好吃？
不好吃香蕉就是烂掉的香蕉啊。
哦，
那你不会买的？
是黑黑的香蕉，
烂蕉。
香蕉。
怎么啦？我要在那干嘛？我在那按 G 咯，各位。哇，其他键可以吗？我全部都按了，我除了 G 之外，所有键都按了，好不好？
你按 G 吧。
他说按我奶头，按一下。
你小心有些人会伤心哦。
Oh my god！
这是第2代哦，第2代。
没有啊，就1代一样的啊。
一代。
那我不要按哦，我不按，我直接离开，我直接重新开始游戏会怎样吗？我按了，各位，
不要啦。怎么办
？I'm back again. Wow.
Welcome back.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
这个东西，所以如果你看过了这个游戏，对不对？
有啊，
应该都忘记了吧？
我真的也忘了。
我记得结局很屌，但是
我其实已经3个结局了，现在
有一个真结局。
真。
按史丹利的尼特，什么是史丹利的尼特
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
好了，再走一次好了。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling away,
有点像是我之前玩那个。
Stanley decided to
他把它封起来了，干！
hoping he might find an answer.
这里本来是个工具熊，本来进去里面打手枪，结果现在不能进去了。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked downstairs to his boss's
受不了了，
office.
那个压力太大。
真的有人在上班时间打过吗？好好奇。
可能受不了跑去厕所吧。
可是上课的时候有。
哎呀，
教室里面
上课的时候有。
这有多忍不住？
跟老师说我要去上厕所啊，没办法呀，那个桌子都顶起来了，你说怎么办？
哦，升降桌子
就直接
我一定要借一下外套，要不然真的是很尴尬。
对，尤其刚午睡起来的时候，你就穿运动裤，很尴尬。
大家都要弯腰哎，男生都要弯腰。
对啊，不
因为我都倒立出去。
什么意思？这里有电梯哎！
你倒立出去不就插到人家嘴巴？
靠！靠！
有人说厕所自由变，
厕所自由变了什么？这是我这里这样的地图不知道哎。
有人问说如果身为老板突然发现员工在打手枪会怎样？
就
加入啊，打不赢就加入他。
就没怎样，就想说你到底，哎呀，怎么一个纸牛皮纸在这边？
僵尸100哦。
本来这些纸吗？不是，这电梯也太久了吧？
你要掰了，
我又回来了。什么意思？
你是进去里面听音乐的，是不是？
什么意思？
我 come back， 这个电梯根本是假的，不能上不能下。
往下呢？
它就是在这楼而已，就这楼而已。
下了。这不是一次辱华？
已经辱。
天花板那么高，
电梯吧跳高超高的，好爽哦。
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah blah blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh hey!
直接开，超靠腰。真是谢喽！你怎么知道我要什么啊？ 直接把我打开，超靠腰，还不能往下，只能往这个还不能往上，只能往下。
哎呦
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
哎，我在左边啊，不要被他压扁，然后直接回到原点，看会怎么样，好不好？
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was
这里是那个吧，压缩机那边吧？
Stanley would
压缩机，
压缩机啊，
日本压缩机非常稀少。
日本这里压缩
The
机。
door behind him was not shut.
哎
Stanley still had every opportunity to turn
刚
around
刚就有
and
讲过
get
这个
back
了
on track.
哦，我们等一下在那个压缩机前面，然后按离
At
开。
this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
OK， 反正我也没有脚，我也不是真的人吧，我猜。咻咻！刚刚有人说那个我们刚刚那个工地那个电梯那边好像另外一门可以走，是不是啊？
完全没有发现。
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life
我
had
应
been
该
of
是要
no
先去那
consequence
个
whatsoever.
彩蛋房间之后，
Stanley can't see
然后
the
再按
big
ESC
picture.
的。
He doesn't know the
应该
real
没有用。
story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world
还是别路可以走啊？这边
Perhaps
是
his
不是隐
death
藏
was
道路
of
可以
no
走之类
great
的？
loss, like plucking the eyeballs from
太黑了吧
这里感觉有路啊，你
So
看，
he resigned
感
and
觉可以
willingly
走哎。
accepted this
还
violent
是你
end
转个
to
视
his
角。
brief and shallow
我
life.
转视角啦，不能啊！
Farewell, Stanley.
哦，
不要，不要！啊！
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous
厕
metal
所墙上写
jaws.
Because the boss
In a
knows
single
that what
visceral
the boss
instant,
says goes.
Stanley
If
was
the boss says
obliterated
suffered loss,
as the
then
machine
that's
crushed
what the
every
boss
bone in his
chose.
body, killing him instantly.
都是绕口令。
哎呦，傻小，这路也不能走。哎，我们又回来了，各位。
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as
Okay.
alive as ever. What
No boss
exactly did the
chose.
narrator think he was going
没
to
有
accomplish?
魔王选择，因为这个王
When
知道
every path you can
what
walk
the
has
boss
been
says
created
goes
for
if
you
the
long
boss
in
is suffered.
advance,
好难。
death becomes meaningless, making
这张太难
life
翻了吧。
the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley
哎，
was
所以你刚刚已
already
经
dead from the moment
又
he
重
hit
新了。
start?
哦，我刚来过这边了，只是刚刚有一个桥段是我会被送回去那个压缩机那边，但是他说如果我在被压之前按 ESC 回到一开始的地方的话，就会得救。可是我刚没有被压，我就死了。思密达，所以我们要再测试一次。哎呦，全部都是427，这里有什么线索或者是密码可以看之类的吗？不然这里干嘛？因为这里我们来过了。哎呦，哎，这什么地方？等一下，
那边可以跳了吗？
还不行，我们要找到那个回去的房间，老板的办公室。原本那么烂呢。往右边走。旁白弃用片段，旁白的声音 Kevin Writing 为
Now
整个
look
游戏
closer, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room.
怎么没有
Perfect
字幕
example
了？
of poor level design.
他说这个是旁白
Takes away from
被
this
弃用的片段，就是没有被收录进去的。好了，闭嘴，直接走掉。我们先回去刚刚那个液压机那边好了，这里吧。这里，哎呦，糗啥啦？
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both
他说
wish
的
to be
他们是
free.
我跟旁白，对不对？他说他们是我跟旁白，
应该是哦。
一定是啊。那不是些糗啥啦？他是不是姨母笑啊？毕竟 Stanley 是 gay 啊。
哦，
旁白是 gay 啦。
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one
好，不
another?
死，我现在 ESC 离开，我去找旁白，好不好？
Perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the pro.
好，回来。OK。Oh my god， 胖班回来了 ！Where are you? Hello.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
他是不是没有前
Stanley
面的记
decided to
忆啊
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
只有你有记忆吧？
有啦，他都知道我要干嘛了，他都刚刚直接略过一堆片段了，笑死！啊，我一直重复，那我们还有哪边没有走过啊？刚那个工地那边好像有一个门还没去过。刚好这里吗？刚好这里吗？
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
工地哪边啊？
he entered the door on
右
his
边吗？
left.
他叫你
This
进
was
左
not
边
the
呢。
correct way
可
to
是
the
我
meeting
刚
room,
去
and
过了，
Stanley knew it
我现在去右
perfectly
边。
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No， 我 sorry， 我要去工地。
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the
Okay,
first
thank you.
time eager to get back to
不是轮
business.
回的那个地方
Stanley
吗？
took the first
不是轮回，
open
是
door on
刚
his
刚
left.
左边，然后往下走，是轮回的地方。哎，这里我也没来过哎，
有吧？
这里我没有来过，我刚刚直接走这边了，就是工地那边
那个不是。你刚刚摔死的地方吗？
摔死在这里。
他不是绕了一圈然后摔死吗？
这个地方我没有来过吧？因为我刚刚直接往右，我刚刚直接往前面走啊。我有，
你就进去看，他就是绕一圈而已啊。
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door,
你要去呢？
and got back on track.
我来过这里吗？我没有来过这里啊。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
我回来了。
staircase.
靠
Stanley
腰
walked
直接走回来，
upstairs to his boss's
走到正
office.
轨。那这里还有其他结局可以看吗？好，走，哎，直接打开，直接打开。
Just go.
Just
我
go。
不管，我按一下密码，怎么样？哎，看28，哎，靠，按不到。
好黑哦，你怎么看得到？好强哦。
2，哎，按不了，算了。可是这里我来过啦。他后面直接不演，直接把那个门打开了耶，连讲都不讲。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
我这边应该全部玩完了，这边就是被压那边。那这里应该还有其他路线可以走吧？如果都带我来这边的话。可这里到底要干嘛啊？我这边就出去啦，这边就是那
The
个
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
出去
screens.
那个现实生活
What
那边。
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
这里有
Did
其他
he
结局
have
吗
the strength to find out?
？OK， 再按一下。
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true
不然就是有可
nature
能就是刚刚那个门打开之后，往后走，说不定有别的路可以走，
Stanley's co-workers.
就是通往那个
The
现实世
lives
界
of
那
so
边。
many individuals reduced to
出
images
去
on
那
a
边你
screen.
按另一个是一
And
个结局。
Stanley, one of them,
我按另一个。
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
那你可以让我选 yes or no 哦 ，yes or yes。
This mind
Yes or
control
yes.
facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true.
Yes or
Had
yes.
Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
OK。
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone
因
else's
为这个游戏
control?
应该有一个
Never.
真正
It
的
was
结局吧？
unthinkable, wasn't it?
通常这种就是
Was it
旁
even
白的游戏
possible?
都是很感人的，
Had he
各
truly
位，就
spent his
这旁白有可能会突然不见或者消失，
entire
然后我们找他把他救出
blind
来
to。the world?
为什么要救旁白？
就是通常这种游戏都是把它做的很感
But
人，
here
就
was
是
the
你跟那个
proof.
旁白已经有
The
感
heart
情
of the，
然后突然
operation.
消失，你要把它找回来。
Controls labeled with
通常这种游戏
emotions.
都是这种套路。
Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded
真正的
from
选
this
项 yes or
very
yes，
place.
表面选项 yes or
And
no。
as the
请问
cold
狮子你是
reality
在
of
讲
his
绕口令还
past
是在讲那
began
个
to
讲
sink
谜语
in,
啊？
Stanley decided that this
这公三小。
machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
因为这里还有一个谜题，就是1、2、3、4，我这边可以按按钮，可是我4按不到，4在上面呢，我要怎么按到4啊？1先按，2，那4在上面我怎么按？有人知道这边要怎么按到4吗？还是就真的按不到4啊？3在哪里？3在这里。
有什么东西可以坐上去？
没有啊，完全没有啊，因为4在那边，然后楼梯被封住了。3，太暗了，有楼梯，太暗了，有楼梯，
所以有楼梯哦。
太暗了，有楼梯。什么是太暗了有楼梯？
有楼梯吧？
哪里有楼梯？
可能走得上去。
有楼梯。
你按 F 有没有手电筒？
没有。
啊，这不就是楼梯吗？你前面不就是楼梯吗？
可是它挡住了，你看有一个门那边。
对。
欸，
感觉是有什么隐藏道路可以上去，来看一下。这里超黑，可是这里看得到里面，但是没东西啊。还是这里，看一下这里，没有楼梯啊。到底啊，这个门可以开吗？不行。My control status offline。他说可以直接按呐，远端按它，可能只要对准这就可以按到它了。
这个键盘声很清楚，
你不觉得蛮舒服的吗？这个键盘声，
是你的键盘还是他游戏的？
他游戏里面的，先去选才会亮。其实我不知道是在讲什么狮子你在讲什么？其实不太懂。
去选，
我要选什么东西？
选什么？
哦，我要选什么？
狮子 lion，
而且狮子还姓谢哦，谢莱恩。
谢莱恩。
选最后那个。
选哪里？
不知道。
选哪里的最后哪个？
宝岛啊。
手指要放在太阳穴，用 X 教授的能力按。
还是我直接离开？我直接离开好了。它门会关起来吗？门不会关起来。选那个结局的 No。Mind controls idle awaiting put.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty.
我不要关它就好了，玩哦。玩到
你辅是关呢？
我是要按白痴。
会怎样吗？
没有，就有刚刚那个结局了。
And a rising chill.
可不可以
注意木学打等于空白等于？
谢谢大家，阿里嘎多。但是你们要知道，就是我毕竟我刚2确，我是有点脑雾的，大家。
老师，你2确很久了，
回来了。
差不多3确了，香港人都没戴口罩。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
没事，我知道怎么走了。
对啊，
有人3确的吗？
日本也没人在戴口罩啊，几乎
有啦。上次我2确的时候看医生，他有人说就最高看到5确。
真的假的？他是有多衰啊？
超级衰，我傻眼。
decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
5确根本就是他1确完，然后马上过那个免疫体，然后马上又中，就5确。
5确他有打疫苗吗？
有啊，都有打，要打满，打好打满啊。
我靠！
梅德林说都推给2确的部分。
真的啦，脑雾很严重，大家脑雾可以看中医哦，中医是可以治疗好脑雾的。
看起来是没有啊，你还是很严重。
因为我没去看啊。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read "Mind Control Facility."
Let's go. 拉拉说他4确会再加油，不用加油，谢谢拉拉。
不用加油啊，你还
要干嘛啦？
你怎样当期货不玩哦？
如果你真的很容易缺的话，那你去就是去那种就是工厂还是戴个口罩好了。真的那么容易缺的话
，Did he have the strength to find out？
大家应该都缺过了。
对。而且我缺到现在，2确到现在那个咳嗽都还没有好。
Their true nature revealed.
我是喉咙还没好。
对啊，就是有点永久损伤的感觉。
没有，我真的觉得你们是因为配音的关系。
他之前也不会这样子啊，还是因为我们老了？
也有可能，过了30就开始。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to
对，这真的要吃中医啦，吃那个清冠一号。吃完之后，然后吃那个中医调身体是真的有用的。因为我一去的时候，后来有去吃那个清冠又有去看中医，然后调那个身体，然后就不咳嗽。中医是有用的
啊，
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
抹杀小颗粒说：“我吃中药吃到哭，怎样？太感动了，是不是？”
Had he truly spent his entire
太好吃了吧，中药怎么那么好
utterly
吃啊？
blind to the world?
根本国宴。
But here was the proof, the heart of the operation.
我们现在全部人都过30岁啊，
对啊，
sad
没有人。
or content.
太太还没过。
过了啦，
过了，太太过了，对，
我快要31岁了。
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exist.
哎呦，按哦，我激活了，各位 ，sorry 哦，吓到了吧
？After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Stanley. I applaud your effort, I really do.
洗脑设施按了，各位。
There's only so much that machine can do.
那可以按这个1、2、3、4、5了吗
？Let it go. Turn the controls off and leave.
No.
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do.
我已经看过结局了，不要再干扰我了。
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent. Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear
他应该骗我吧？刚刚那个压缩机就骗我了。你别再吓人了。
Until detonation, then, let's say,
哎呦 ！Oh my god！ 我知道了，这边按1、2、3、4、5。
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now.
变亮了
Shape it to your heart.
可以按了。
Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments
按键里面有说，
is. More time.
按键里面说空白键是跳，可是就跳不起来。
About me, where we're going. What all this means, I barely know where to start.
不要吵啦
What's that?
还好你刚刚很熟了。
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased
我在那个出口那边。
I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever,
如果没有按，应该是爆炸，就真的是爆炸。
dying alone. Other times,
sorry,
I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
你刚刚是没按，
什么意思
This version of events has been
为什么没有用？
Watching you
重
try
来一
to
次，
make
等一下，
sense
再一次，
of
再一次，
everything
再一次。
and take back the control wrested
完了，
away
剩
from
40
you.
分钟，剩40秒。
I almost hate to
够
see
吗？
it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with
为什么
on
会
the
失败？
next go around
干
will be
38秒
even better. My goodness,
没按
only
到
34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
啊
You know what? To hell with it.
28
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
等一下，你给我跑
These
快
are
一
precious
点！
additional seconds.
他要加嘞，他会加时间嘞。
他帮我加时间。谢谢小天使，我有打卡按赞。
Is it that you have no idea where you're going
他
or
给我加
what
时
you're
间了，大
supposed
家
to。be doing right now? Or did you just assume
我觉得
when
不
you
是
saw
按这
that
个1、2、3、4、5
timer
如果
that
按对，他
something
应
in
该
this
会
room was
说
capable of turning it off? I mean, look at
爸
you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking
到
on
底
every little thing in this room.
还是有6可以按。
Numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this
还是
door. Everything
按别的。
anything
这个也按呢。
something here will save me. Why
这
do
里
you think that stands?
这里有
A
10。
video game can be beaten. One solved.
等一下，
Do you have any idea?
太多按钮了吧？不可能吧？
按亮起来的啊。
每个都按吗？
You're in for quite a disappointment.
不可能吧
But here's a spoiler for you.
1 蓝色
Timer
是
isn't a
1，
catalyst to keep the action moving
蓝色
forward.
是1，
It's
黄
just
色是
seconds
4。
ticking
哎，等一
away
下
to your death.
哎，等一下，
You're only still playing instead of
对
watching a cutscene.
啊
I want to watch you
我还会这
for
么直接
every
开的
moment that you're powerless.
蓝1黄
To
4，
see you made
我知道了
humble. This is not a challenge.
4
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world.
2
That's fine.
紫色是2，
But I'm
所以要
going to
蓝
destroy it first, so you
然后不
can't.
不知道，然后
Take a look at
427
the
吗
clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
怎么
30
啦
seconds until a
到
big
底
boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to
我要去拿晚餐。
Will you
到
cling
底
desperately to your frail life? Or
我
will you
按
let it
什么
go peacefully?
我到底要按什
Have
么
a choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's
？Oh
all
my
the
god! Oh my
same.
god! 好了，谢谢，
All
什么都按不了了，
part of the
太正了，
journey.
好
And
不好
believe me, I
太
will
正
be
了，
laughing at every second of
太
your
正，什么都按不了
inevitable
了。
life from the moment we
哎呀爸呀爸
until the moment I say
哎呀爸，我躲起来，躲起来，先躲，先躲，先躲啊！不，
哎，还没有爆炸啊！
什么意思？到底哎，不一样嘞。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
不
Stanley
是
decided to go to the meeting
房间
room.
不一样嘞，
Perhaps
大
he'd
家。
simply
哎呦
missed a memo.
426哦，这里。Welcome to the whiteboard ending。多个梦。
这26可以讲吗？
什么意思？
他现在是不是辱华？426房间里面有狗狗。
对啊，
狗狗在叫，超级鲁皇的。
好哦，狗狗 mode。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did it advance the story. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
那我
doors,
现在有左
he
边吗？
entered the door on his left.
好哦。那狗真的超靠腰，
那个绝对是你按的，
真的好爽哦。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
我要做一样的
office.
事情吗？就一样啦。
Here's the door, just go.
OK, thank you。我还有什么没有做到的吗？现在就是那个工地那边，工地那边好像有另一扇门可以进去这样子。而且要回音哦，各位。做电视的时候不能狗叫，可以用狗叫声来生日快乐歌吗？当然可以啊。祝你生日快乐。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
这样
large
狗叫
door
吗？
that read Mind
就是游戏里面
Control
狗叫啊。
Facility.
哎，这里还玩过，这里玩过，这里玩过，这里玩过。等一下，不要来这里，这里玩过了。可是刚刚那边有另外一个结局吗？各位，大家，请问狮子，我刚刚那边如果有按对的话，我也不知道怎么按对，反正就是 whatever， 按对会有结局吗？如果有的话，我再走过去一次哦。还是刚刚那边就只是故意让我按不了按钮啊？他是把我当白痴耍哎、好哦，直接离开，重来。
Wait, Stanley thought to himself.
Yeah?
Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
哎，如果我一直疯狂的重来会怎么样啊？哎，吓到了吧？我又重来了，什么事都没做，重来了。
All of his co-workers.
你会讲一样的话吗？
All of his co-workers.
一样哎、我还讲不一样的话哎、哦，一直哦，所以这个是随机的啦。他那个电话也是随机出现的，不一定会有电话。
When Stanley came to a set of
工地是
2
在右
open
边。
doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
对，他那开头都
Perhaps
是
he wanted
有
to
几
stop
率
by the
的。
employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, go left，再见，我往这边走。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
什么声音？
直接吓爆哎！
那里有一个 B 的门可以过去，可是我下不去哎。你们说是哪一个门啊？啊，你说到这里之后往下走，在这边吗？这里有个门吗？哦，配方送出20个玩什么鬼的飞机哦，谢谢配方，配方ありがとう。那我可以吃宵夜了。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we
走这个走道吗？狮子抽到汇集了，恭喜哦。
I'm not your enemy, really. I'm not. I realize that investing in
果
your
然多
trust
留
in
言就会
someone
抽
else
到
can
汇
be
集
difficult.
了。
But the fact is that the story has been about
你说我直接走这个走道吗？我走喽，好恐怖
等一下，他
哦！
会靠近吧？他会靠近吧？
对，吓到了吧？
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
哇，这配
I
音
don't
好
know
好
how to
笑。
convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
好，你
Give
说
me
啊
a chance.
OK， 说啊，啊，说啊，
你说，
他不是要说，他一点也没有紧张的感觉啊，他那个感觉，那个语调就很像阿成的感觉。
刚刚谁冷笑？
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
哎，这里有个坏豆。
你是哆啦 A 梦的。
怎么样去哪边啊？他叫我去红色的门呢，各位。Sorry 咯，叛逆。
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
What?
你被耍
I
了。
still don't think we're communicating properly.
Yeah.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Sorry 咯，这里有
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You give me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design. You can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
是什么色票门啊？
真的耶。
Phantom 门。
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
好像1好了。Sorry 咯，1分。
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge.
就是像你唱的 Queen 卡，然后那个小女孩给你多分。
对我唱的很认真，应该给我5分，我傻眼。
And to be perfectly candid,
他给我10分。
I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
怎样？哎呦 ！This the Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard。怎样？谁啦？一共有91730个门被开了。而且好像那个那个 Speed Run 的那个排行榜我是最后一个，谢谢。好，谢谢你哦。7小时37分钟5秒。How long does it take you to get the correct door？ 然后呢？怎样？再走一次吗？这什么意思啊？
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Okay.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Okay.
Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
Okay.
It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out.
他活得好好的啊，他很开心。
It's over.
他喜欢玩火的
Thank
孩
you
子，
for
大家不用
playing.
怕。
Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
啊？什么啦？这是另外一个游戏吧？这不是有一个那个防火者的游戏吗？这里
我知道，那个很好玩诶。
就是吧，很
But it seems
像哎。
obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man
是另外一个游戏。
spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
这是真的有这个游戏，各位，这是另外一个游戏叫防火者。
应该是同一间公司。
对
That must be it.
好像 Rift 啊，
这个游戏感觉也蛮那个，我看过游戏布置还是游戏机密
So
奖，
far, I love
也很好玩，也
everything
很厉
about
害。
this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
OK。这个之后看有谁没玩过可以玩一下，这个游戏还蛮厉害的。
你玩过了？
我是看过别人讲过了，结局我都知道了。但这个游戏很厉害，就是你以为你只是，反正就是一样，就是后面有反转的游戏了。你可以玩看看啊，它就是，对，你会就是中间开始就是故事会变得有点奇怪，
No,
细思极恐这样。
好像就是发现你住的地方开始有别人入侵还是什么之类的。
It is.
对。
It's an open world game. Good God,
Oh,
quickly
thank
block it
you,
off.
open world. Wow, what the hell?
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big open.
他不让我去
just
开放
wandering
世界的
around,
游
no
戏
right
啦
or wrong directions.
我
No
一大堆那
path
个
to
惊叹
follow.
号
You can
解
just
啦
go。in any. Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
哎，各位，
I'm going to get us
这里有
out
个
of
小
here.
洞哦。
Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
过不去。
靠！
I think
我也过得去。
this will be just the thing.
没了。
这什么地方？
足球哦，
这是那个 Rocket League 那个一个 VR 的游戏，各位。
哦，我知道，机器人打斗的。
对，我没有玩过啊。
Now this is game design.
同一个公司出的吗？
If you manage to get lost in this game,
太好笑，直接拿别的游戏画面来用，太
impressed.
智障了吧？应该是同一个公司，我猜。
对啊。
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must.
哪里有车子啊
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
哎呦 ，OK。
这我玩过哎，他用车子踢足球。
哦，啊，之前那个 PS4有送过这个游戏。
对，
呜呼！而且我终于走路变快，太好了，各位，终于走路变快，进去了。
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my...
Hold
on. What are you doing?
那
Stanley, don't do that. I can't find you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that, Stanley.
哦，你逃掉了。
哎，我离开了耶，我离开那个旁白了。对。来到游戏的档案里面了，是吗？ 可是没路可以走啊。怎么办？这里有路吗？超黑的，这感觉会掉下去这有路吗？
掉下去会怎样？
我不知道掉下去会怎样，可是我想说给他们路可以走。好吧，好像只能掉下去了耶。都要没路啦。
如果这是档案夹的话，下面应该有开始键和那个关点。
怎么感觉像那个恐怖游戏啊？这个地方，这样恐怖游戏完了，真的完了，有点像后世的感觉，各位。Welcome to the back room 哦。而且旁白突然不讲话，突然瞬间变得很安静这个游戏。
我现在不知道。
阿周现在要往426的房间走过去了。他现在经过了一个
简单旁白，
经过了426打不开，我们现在进到427的房间里面，类似一个电竞房。阿周在这边点了一些按键，但发现什么事都没有发生。阿周现在不知所措，不知道该怎么办。他开始蹲在角落，思想人生，想想等一下宵夜要吃什么，不然就吃个卤味好了。最近家附近开了一间卤味。它的卤味里面都是用那个海贼王里面的人物做那个命名的，有一个卤味叫做那个索隆卤味，听说是很多肉的，蛮好吃。哎呦，超级丢差小！
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close,
还有人说卤味好吃哦。
I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
这是好结局了吗？
I can wait.
我跟你讲，这个游戏有一个成就很夸张，就是你要玩这个游戏玩5年
啊？
不是啦，就是你要把这个游戏放在你的收藏库里面5年，还是怎样？忘记了。
那你2028年就可以结束了。
对。
什么成就？
我不知道，就是
打开会有不同的剧情啊。
不知道。对，就放5年。对。
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
好了，我现在所有的地方都去过了，我现在要去哪里？旁白告诉我，新地方 ，New content。
Oh, new content? What does that mean? New content?
I don't know.
哇，
怎样了？云霄飞车。什么啦？是古灵阁是不是啊？
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside.
这是什么迪士尼的那个导览的那个设施啊
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or oh, there we go. All right, finally.
所以这个是2013年没有的内容吗？这是2022年新加的内容。
Never been more ready. Let's do it.
所以刚刚2013年版本我们已经破关了的意思吗？哦，谢谢回答我，谢谢。
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay. The jump circle. 跳圈。
All right. Let's see. It's the jump circle.
什么意思？
先可以跳喽。
把我当白痴吧？
这样。
好好玩哦，耶！我终于可以跳了这个游戏。刚刚按 ESC 说有一个跳可以按，原来这边是可以跳的地方啊！我不能跳了。
它是你唯一可以跳的次数。
我把全部用光了。我不能跳了，各位。
OK。
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
因为它原本2013年不能跳，所以2022年变可以跳，但是只能跳36次。
Initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new
跳完了，
content?
谢谢新关卡，好好玩。
Then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes, I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
可以蹲，
本来就可以蹲了，可以侧目。Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about? No frills. No gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
还是别的地方可以走啊？他强制把我跳回去啊！房间不一样了，你看什么地方？哎呦，原本的房间。对，他直接把我强制跳回去。
你变成感觉在一个地下室工作。
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
好不想进去哦。我先看看这有什么东西。这回来了。
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
好了，我看好不好？他不看他呛人。
Never mind. You're not a dork.
哦 ，sorry， 我离开喽。假动作。sorry， 假动作哦。
他没讲话。
他没讲话嘞。可恶，好吧，再看一下好了。
可能没想到有人会来回。
哎呦，
地上有东西可以捡
傻小。
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back
史丹利的
then,
寓言
video games
他
had
不喜欢都是超豪华版
integrity.
的。
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
笑死。
反正就是在讲2013年版的故事是吗？
他觉得新版没有，他觉得这次做那个超豪华版那个新的资料片根本就废物，他现在怀念这2013年刚开始的史丹利的寓言。对，在讽刺那个开发商。哎呦，这什么
And
地
over
方啊？
here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Whoa.
James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
给了10分。
Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created.
好欸。
Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever
好欸，
created.
好棒。
That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
他只把它公关这个房间里面，太好笑。哎，它上面什么东西啊？嗯 ，Memory Zone Maintenance 这是维修中的地方。嗯，哇哦！
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Wow. 什么门开了吗？这个门开了吗？这里还是来过了。刚什么门开了？
爱丁堡武器室哦，
超像。干好，我去爱丁堡。
爱丁堡的武器室。
哎，哪边开了？
你被堵住哎。
对啊，不是啊，刚刚是不是有地方开了？这里吗？
对。
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collected down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
哦不，不赞赞。
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator
他还把那个人的 ID 打出来是超靠腰的。
With his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
还有更多，天哪，太好笑了！可是有个站的，把它倒过来放。
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
账号是真的吗？
真的，你看，你去看这个视频，应该有真的有这个评论吧？
真的假的啦？
Maybe it wasn't. Oh dear.
大家给他查一
What
下。
an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
有一个 skip。
表哥密我了，他说我要关 Win10还是 Win11，各位你们觉得呢？
你要换电脑了？
我就是帮学长用电脑啊。
哦
，Win10，
我也觉得 Win10比较好，因为 Win11问题有点多。
真的，
加上 Win11新的那个界面，它下面那个工具列变得很奇怪。
Win11最不方便就是就是它那个下面那工具列不能隐藏，或是不能拉到左右两边，它只能隐藏。
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot.
什么 XXA XBX？
Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Well,
you really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof! Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really true. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
他突然好可怜哦，不要再按跳过了啦。
For 2 weeks.
怎样？很好笑啊！
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place?
完了，他不说话了，他不见了。没有，他就是讽刺说，就是大家都不想看剧情，然后一直按 skip。那怎么办？不讲话了。等一下，这里有个 skip 可以按。大小，
什么东西在哔哔？
不知道，心电图吗？
他挂了。
怎么那么近的声音啊？
是那个时钟掉地上吗？
不是，可是他声音是在这边来的，算了，直接跳掉。Sorry 哦。
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said...
好了啦。为什么这个 skip 念起来很像日文的厉害？啊？日文的厉害，死勾引吗 ？skip。
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Come on, yeah,
is never the end, 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 is
疯了疯了
is never the end,
疯了
is never the end, is never the end, is
有怪声音，有个水声在旁边。这里有个水声呢。哟，什么意思啊？突然一个大漏水。到底按几次？ 破了。哎呦，好了，变废墟了这里。可是出不去啊。什么地方？好漂亮哦！什么啦？但是时钟也不见了耶，时钟被埋起来了，各位。变得很可怕的感觉啊，很可怕哎。
一直有奇怪的声音。
对，这鬼是不是？哎呦，我可以出去的。
哇，已经世界末日了啦！
世界末日了，谢谢各位。还可以 skip 吗？啊，不，世界末日了！
你演的，
靠腰。
你是这个世界唯一存活的人。
三小，
那让我们期待《沙丘》第2集。
那怎么办？
继续走啊，应该会突然停掉吧？太棒了，终于出来了，太棒了，各位。skip 还坏掉了，也不能 skip 了。
对啊。
朝着太阳方向走。果然。玩够了没，旁白先生？靠背！不要从这边开始，我妈呀
！A soft wind blew outside, and perhaps rain started. And if it did, it stopped shortly
你回到
Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
谢谢哦，范玮琪。什么啦？
新的内容。
超夸张，超漂亮霓虹灯。
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
OK。真的新内容了，各位。Real new content。
这往左走了。
没有啊，直接往前面走了。
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
路人被你猜到喽！
猜到什么？
你怎么知道有2？你看2出来了。
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why there are so many possibilities? It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
他就是办公室让它变高级而已啊。
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 arms, 2
legs. That if I
legs.
can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
这是厉害。然后嘞 ，new features。
怎么一台公车？哎呦，
哎呦，哎呦，哇哦哇哦哇哦哇哦
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
我可以换衣服了。
可以换衣服吗
？QR code
哪里？哪里？
上面有 QR code， 我扫一下。
吗？
我拿手机扫一下。
我来扫一下，什么东西啊？大家可以扫一下哦。真的 ，Welcome to the official website of the Stanley Parable 2， 那个史丹利的寓言2的那个官方网站。
网站呢？
看，
是真的吗？
史丹利的寓言安心筒，办公室装饰无限生动。
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
是谁？史丹利吗？
我要选哪一个？选这个好了。
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get
Okay,
well
thank
someday
you.
It is.
有个鸡掰。那全部都变成那个了。
Maybe I should have gone with... No. I've made my decision. We're moving on. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
不能跳游戏真的很靠背。Free new and easy achievement， 简单的那个成就在这边，什么意思啊？就免费的成就。Free achievements。
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever and when you... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you.
靠，结果不能用。他就拉了一下可以获得成就，但是现在不能用，笑死。
坏掉了你。
这里有路可以走吗？没有。
有。
没有。他现在展示那个2代的功能给我们看。
What else? What other exhibits have we seen?
好可爱哦！史丹利的 Q 版人物哎 ，Q 版 ，Q 版人物哦。哎呦，哇哦，这什么东西？
什么都有
collectibles.
我说哇哦。
Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
突然变这个。
那讽刺说那些没有意义的收集品，你知道吗？
哦，就是像什么20古堡打一些
之类的。You collect everything in a video game, and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
地图炮啦，史丹利。这里有个出口哎，等一下，他哪没逛到啊？这里有逛到了吗？那个黑洞好像还没去到哎。
下面这什么博物馆哦？太大了吧。
哇哦，来了。
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down for
永久掉落
infinite falling.
Okay, 跳吧。
You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top and we can continue onward.
按 G 回到地面。
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
谢谢你耶，这游戏好好玩哦。
无限掉落的洞，
真的没有人尝试过哎。
因为没有用、
太创新的想法了吧？有吧？这个无限掉的话，那个传送门应该有吧？蓝色加红色是无限掉的门。No screenshot， 这里不能拍照哦。
那你按截图，它会不会？哦，
按截图吗？没有用。
我没有用电脑按 screenshot， 它会出改机。
结果没有。
是世界冠军。
可以离开这里了吧？哎，啥地方？设置世界冠军是什么？设置世界冠军是什么？设置世界冠军没东西，直接去出口吧。那里有个 exit。但他还是没有讲到说为什么那个我的同事们都不见了，因为我是楚门的世界嘛。
有可能。
走，出口在这边。
哇，这也太美了吧
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
哪里有 bucket 在哪里啊？或者是 bucket？
我记得一开始有。
在哪里啊？哦，是不是有一个地方是什么水桶什么的，对不对？
对啊，应该不是在这区吧？
在刚刚那里吗？
对啊。
要回去刚刚那区吗？水桶非常重要哦，各位。Find a bucket 哦。
bucket 应该这一区。
bucket 在这里。有一个水桶的。哎，这里也没玩过哎，啥？
哎呦！
哎呦！
什么蚊子的声音？
什么啦 ？Baby 长大了，各位，二代 Baby 长大了。Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into
Jim.
dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really
Jim?
Whoa, I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine... All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
超靠腰的功能。它的桶在哪里啊？
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play
没有一个游戏可以
They
按下去讲玩家的名字。
对啊，那太厉害了吧！如果那美国语言都要会耶。
对。
水桶这个吗？安心桶这里。
哦，对啊。
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
什么
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
What the fuck?
As long as you hold onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Okay.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Bucket!
Give it a try.
Bucket! 哇！我终于有东西可以拿了。
Feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the
终于有
face
东
of
西可以拿了。
crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
Bucket!
Can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of buckets seem to go on and on, don't they?
前面都没拿过任何
All
东西啊
this，and more await you
而且也没
in
看到他的
Stanley
手。
Parable 2.
也没有脚啊。啊！我拿着水桶走了，各位。
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
这谢
That
谢
really should be an award if it isn't already.
可以拿东西了，好棒哦。OK 哦。然后嘞，哎，这什么地方？
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the well, we'll figure that out later.
那我可以 exit 了，我离开了。这里，到底什么意思啊？对，我是用意念拿着水桶，跟任何游戏一样。哎呦，这不能过去啊！这里。好了，各位拿水桶离开了。
他会不会挡住？
没有，他开了。他给我个纪念品，各位。二代也不太服。哦，这什么？
哎呦 ，jump scare， 刚有一个脸，
这个，二代也太佛了吧！给我们个水桶 ，Thank you very much。哎呦，什么地方？
什么好酷哦
What do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
哇！
哎呦，你可以收集东西了。
Well, I mean, there's
收集
potential
6个
here,
东
right?
西
It's
了。
sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
什么？
现在变2嘞！
哦哇！我是个。
这个办公
那变得像悬疑片的感觉哦。 他只是标题画面变了而已啊。然后来设置，哎呦，然后呢，按开始游戏吗？那我水桶还在吗？我水桶，我的水。
This is the story of a
可以跳过了，对。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
真的是二代，因为多了那个气球，各位。
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
真的是二代，
Stanley
而且真的有 skip 了，各位，有 skip 了。
Begging him to pick it up.
可以跳吗
Why was he not doing it?
等一下，他刚说他刚刚说他看到那个水桶在呼唤他，在哪里？啊
Stanley picked up the bucket.
宝贝，
谢谢。
拿着水桶在干嘛？
The bucket tightly to his chest and
那我收集雕像了吗？有6个雕像要收集，各位。有6个玩家要收集。干这游戏都莫名其妙，怎么有点好
Still
玩呢
no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
哦
Perhaps his boss's office. Oh,
是
Stanley,
个，
can you feel it?
这就
The
可以开
broom
了
closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other
真
cleaning
的也非常合理
supplies.
啊。
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give
无法，我
in.
sorry。
Don't hand over the bucket. I know. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
还要输密码吗？
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
找到了！
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
好，谢谢。为什么不能 skip 啊
Stanley, God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
到底3笑我就问。结果等下变 back room。他们刚刚有一个房间蛮像 back room。
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
我的个 bucket 了，各位。
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read
这边怎样吗？
Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
这样我可以逃出去了，我跟那个水桶可以逃出去了， 回到现实世界，各
On
位。
an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
什么啦？水桶是女主角是不是啊？那女一哦，啊女二，女一是旁白。
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be
它是我的
fine.
安心毯，各位。
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feet.
他说我在香港迪士尼有看到你，学长先生，但我这工作没叫你们。
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't
我在香港
accept
迪士尼这
his
已
own
经被
life in
4、5个工
someone
作人员认
else's
出来，然后
control.
说他们工作
Never! He squeezed
你们
the
工作的时候
bucket
在认出别人
tighter.
是
His
正常的
one
吗？
friend in the
是 OK 的
entire
吗？
world. At this point, he could trust no one
是吉
except
祥物认出你吗？
不是，怎么可能是里面那个就是柜台工作人员，或是那种卖饼干的工
But
作人员？
here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
我还以为是什么
Controls
吉祥
labeled
物
with
直接
emotions.
拿
你就走过来说：“哦，是阿秋 ，Hello， 可以给你拍个照吗
Walking,
我是李琦，
eating,
你
working,
是阿
all of
秋
it，monitored and
可以
commanded
拍
from
个
this
照吗
very place.
你是
As
阿
the
秋，
cold
我小学
reality
堂
of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket
先照原本的结局走吧，各位。
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes!
Yes!
They
太
had
棒了，
done it.
私奔成功，各
Stanley and
位
the。bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this
从
massive
此，
door.
史丹利跟
The
童子过
bucket
着幸
wanted
福
to
快乐
learn
的
to
日
roller
子
skate.
，Happy ever
Stanley wanted
after
to。sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them
阿
wanted
周
to
小日
begin
常什么时候
watching
上
the
新
movie,
片？你要问
any
讲讲
movie,
啊。
but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and
停住，
What? Wait.
小小，
What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
小小，快
Was
出去！
Stanley and the bucket not about to be free?
哎，
An unbearable silence filled the
小小。
room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket.
OK
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad.
至少我有水桶
Stanley thought to
太棒了
himself,
好
As
安
long as
心
I
哦
have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
就那同事都不能出去。好吧，这游戏应该
All
就
of
是
his coworkers
就这样。
were- Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
不是吗？怎么有筒子啊？我先玩到这边了，各位。反正这个游戏就它的2代就是筒子，跟着筒子一起走。
好的，
这游戏还不错，我觉得跟那个一般的游戏完全不一样。我就停在旁边，我只是觉得这旁边真的好累，好辛苦，讲好多话哦。
你从第一代开始重玩，
有真结局什么啦？可是好想睡觉哦，不行了，各位要休息了。Sayonara 啦，
要调时差了。
它有个那个成就比较厉害，就是你要放这个游戏放了5年，它会给你一个成就，就进去之后，它好像会跟你说什么之类，大家可以去有兴趣可以去看一下。拜拜啦，大家。
拜。
拜拜。
拜拜啊，拜拜啊，拜拜。